there is so many job opportunity. We will be we will give you to the exposure of the job opportunity. So on the third day, the session is about aircraft design and analysis. So aircraft design and analysis means we will guide and we will tell the how to design aircraft, basic knowledges about how to design the aircraft, and how they once they design, how to do the analysis. That will be covered in the third day session. So in the fourth day, it's about aircraft engine and missile technology. So aircraft engine means power plant. Because of the power plant only, aircraft able to produce thrust. That because of the thrust only, aircraft able to move in a atmosphere. So they will talk about detailedly in aircraft engine and missile technology in the fourth day session. At the end of the session, fifth day, we will talk about to CFD, computational fluid dynamics. It's a very important one. As an aeronautical engineer, you have a very wide scope job opportunity in CFD. So we will give you a short and brief introduction to computational fluid dynamics and how it will help you to grab some job and design aircraft and everything and all. So in this session, it will be about only introduction to aerodynamics. The further session will be produced in the upcoming sessions. So this is Jay Prakash, assistant professor from Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan College of Engineering and Technology, located in Mahabalipuram. So the outline of the session will be about introduction to aerodynamics, aircraft parts and its function. Aircraft parts and its function means like the most important aircraft like Airbus and Boeing. We will talk about how it will fly, how it will make a direction change like that. And the third one is the scope of aerodynamics. In the scope of aerodynamics, I will explain you guys about the importance of aerodynamics not only in aeronautical engineering, about automotive industry also, and railway industries and aviation industry. You people may think that aerodynamics is only for aeronautical engineering, but it's not certainly. It will be very useful in some other industries like automotive, railway and aviation industry also. So after that, we will talk about aerodynamic forces. Without aerodynamic forces, we can't able to know. So we can't able to explain this aerodynamics. So need to know about aerodynamic forces. I will explain the aerodynamic forces. After that, I will explain about the aerodynamics of sports car. Sports car is a high-speed vehicle, more than 150 km/h. So studying aerodynamics about sports car is very important when you are working in a automotive industry. After that, I will talk about aerodynamics of train. You know that trains in Japan and China, they are 500 km running speed is 500 km/h. So aerodynamics of high speed trains is very important. At the end of the session, I will talk about the aeroacoustics. Aeroacoustic is a upcoming new field. They will study about the sound generations in a vehicle. So this is the outline of the today's session. So how many of you want to know the technology behind the aircraft and the high-speed vehicles? I hope this session will be very useful for them to know the technologies. So in order to get going into the session before, I want to give you a short history about aeronautical engineering. So how this aeronautical field grown up. Since 14th century, there were so many flying machines was designed and developed and they trying to attempted to fly. So as you can see in this figure, is the structure is like a wing bird, right? You people know come across the wingsuit mountain diving, and now it is very famous in China and Brazil. They will jump off from the mountain cliff with this type of structure. Once they reach nearby the ground, they will deploy the parachute and they will safely land. But in the earlier times, they will try like this to fly. But most of the attempts not succeeded. All of them got failed because they didn't strongly study the aerodynamic forces. And the other one, you can see that pedal force is connected to the flapping wings. If you are pedaling, these wings will flap. So based on that, force will be created, and they thought this will help to fly. So these are all the flying machines since 14th century they were tried. Even people came across the Leonardo da Vinci, famous painting artist, done Mona Lisa art. He himself did 500 sketches about ornithopters. Now most of the ornithopter technology based on Leonardo da Vinci only. So after that, the first successful flight attempt was done by Wright brothers in the year of 1903. This incident was happened in Kitty Hawk Hill. As you can see, this is the Wright brothers' first flight. They successfully fly. So once they Wright brothers did successful flight attempt, there were so many researches done during the World War II. So the aircraft which one seeing now is a bomber aircraft used in World War II. So this technology is about reciprocating engine aircraft. It's a simple aircraft only. But now what we are having is a very high technology using autopilot system aircraft. This aircraft is a aircraft A350 Airbus manufacturer. Without pilot, autopilot system use the trajectory. Based on the trajectory, it will control automatically the aircraft. Even without pilot also it will run. Like that was the autopilot system. So this is about the brief history of aeronautical engineering. I hope this will be useful for you. So what is aeronautical engineering? What you will learn and what you will do in aeronautical engineering, I will talk about this. As an aeronautical engineer, you will be specialized in research. So once you research, what you will do? Based on the research, you will do design. So once you research and design, you will develop a model. Then based on the model, you will test the model in any softwares. There will be so many software computer analysis softwares. So you will test the models in the software, because testing a real model is very difficult and cost effective. So you will make a miniature in CFD. You will made a model in computer and do a test in system computer itself, and whether you see yourself whether it is pass the test or not. Once it is tests are done, what you will do is manufacture. It is a construction work. So after manufacturing, you will put that aircraft into operation work. So during operation, if the aircraft need any maintenance, it will comes under maintenance. So as an aeronautical engineer, you will do research, design, construction, development, testing, operation and maintenance. So not only aircraft, you can do these activities in spacecraft also, and even missiles also. So as an aeronautical engineer, there will be a 4 stream. It will be separated in 4 streams. Stream 1 is aerodynamics and flight mechanics, and stream 2 is thermal and propulsion. Stream 3 is structures and design. Stream 4 is manufacturing and material. So I'll explain just glimpse of about these 4 streams. Aerodynamics and flight mechanics. You can see the figure. The shape of the aircraft is you can see there will be no stoppages, right? And also the shape will be like if you flew in the air will be fully attached with the aircraft. That type of design will be done by aerodynamicists, and the flight mechanics will comes under control, means how to change the direction and what control surfaces you need to use. So it will be comes under flight mechanics. You can see the control surfaces here. These are the control surfaces used to make any changes in flight path or flight maneuvering. So after that, thermal and propulsion is the another stream. Thermal and propulsion will talk about engine technology, how much thrust you need to have to run your aircraft. So the foremost important thing in aircraft technology is you cannot carry much weight. So the materials and everything used in the aircraft is very high strength materials and very less weight materials. So it will comes under structures and design. As a structure, you have to produce, you have to design an aircraft with very high strength materials, and it will be very low height. So while facing in the atmosphere, there will be so many sudden gust, winds will be acting, right? So the designing of interior has to capable of withstand these loads. So it will be comes under structures and design. Manufacturing means manufacturing this aircraft, and materials means you have to choose the wise material, means low weight and high strength material, low weight and high toughness material. Toughness means it will be withstand with any kind of exposure like that. So in this session we will strictly stick to aerodynamics. So I will give you a knowledge about the aerodynamics only. As aerodynamics is the study of how air interacts with the moving objects. As you people know, dynamics is the study of force and their effect on moving objects. So aerodynamics is like that only, but when you are interacting the moving objects with the air. So aerodynamics is the study of how air interacts with the moving objects. So in aerodynamics, there will be 4 forces acting: lift, drag, thrust and weight. So the right side of the figure, we will make a simulation. The lines you are seeing is a airflow. So you can see that airflow is attached with the body, right? So if the airflow is in the direction like this, and the lift will be produced in the perpendicular direction to the airflow, and the direction parallel to the airflow is the drag, and the direction opposite to the airflow is the thrust. So weight will be acting in the direction opposite to the lift. I will explain all this, why it is happening like that. We're going to explain about aerodynamic forces. These two are the very basic aerodynamic forces, lift and drag. The other two are not much consideration into aerodynamics, but this lift and drag is very important. So in order to explain you about lift and drag, we have to know about the governing equations and the principle behind this. The first one is continuity, mass is conserved, and the second one is Bernoulli's principle, momentum equation, and the third one is the energy is conserved. It is like you people learn from the 10th or +1 +2. So how many of you watering your plants using hose pipe? If you use your hose pipe, explaining this concept, it will be very useful. I will play just animation here. As you can see, this is a fluid particles. The dot parts are fluid particles. When it is flowing through a narrow part, you can see there will be a not change. There won't be a change in velocity or pressure. But when you decrease the area, you can see the area getting decreased. What happened? The fluid particles velocity is increased. Compared to here, the fluid particle velocity is increased. When the velocity is increased, pressure will be decreased, as you can see. So when you are watering your plants in a hose pipe, what you will do, if you want to increase the distance of the fluid particles, you will close the mouth some area, right? So it will reduce the area. So if the mass water going is constant, if you reduce the area, velocity of the particle is increased. Because of the velocity of the particle increase, what happens? The distance of the particle thrown away will be increased. That's what is continuity equation. Mass is conserved. So the second one is the Bernoulli's principle. What Bernoulli's principle tells about here is, when the pressure increases, velocity decreases. When the velocity increases, pressure decreases. That's what here you make this area decreases. Because of that, here the pressure will be getting increased and velocity decreased, and here the velocity getting increased and the pressure will be decreased. You can check in yourself if you are daily watering your plants. Why I am explaining this concept? Once you know this concept, it will be very useful for us to explain the concept behind the aircraft lift. Now you are seeing a airfoil placed in airflow. So what happened? There will be a curve edges, right? There will be already a flow over the airfoil. So because of the curved edges, it's a aerodynamic designed airfoil. So what will happen? There is already a flow over here. This flow has to go. but because of the flow above the here, what will happen? This area get reduced. So the velocity of the fluid particles here will get increased. So if the velocity increase, pressure will be decreased, right? Obviously. So in the above of the airfoil, velocity will increase and the pressure will decrease. You can see there will be not much curved surface below the airfoil. It will be like constant. So comparatively, the velocity uh, below the airfoil will be very low. So the pressure will be very high. So the pressure difference, here the high pressure, here the low pressure. So the pressure difference what will create is a lift in this direction of high pressure. So this is about the continuity and Bernoulli's equation used in the concept of lift. Now I will talk about the aircraft parts and its function. This is fuselage section. In the fuselage section, passengers compartment is there, cargo compartment is there, and fuel carrying is there. So you can see the cockpit section. This is where the pilot will be seated and control the aircraft. And these two are the engine section, where engine will be mounted with the pylon or nacelle. And these two are the wings, and these three are the tail. This one is the vertical tail, and these two are the horizontal tails, and these two are the winglet. I will explain this technology. So after that, there will be a control surfaces in the aircraft. The control surfaces meant used to control the aircraft direction, going up and down, that kind of controls. You can see the control surfaces aileron here. Both sides it will be present, and in the tail you can see the elevators and rudder. I think presenting this control surfaces with animation is very good. So you will get a good knowledge. So you can see the animation. This is how the airflow flown over the aircraft. Okay. For our concern, now we are only concerned about the wing only, how it will be lift happening in the wing. Okay. So when the air flows, the lift will be produced because of the aircraft wing design is like that. Produce a lift in the upward direction only. Now I will talk about the control surfaces and other parts in the wing. How to help you to produce the lift. These two are the flaps, and this is the ailerons, and this is the slats. How it will help to improve the lift, you will see now. See, they will deploy the flap now. They are deploying the flap, right? It makes the aircraft wing area increases. So above the area of the wing, the velocity of fluid particle increases, and below the wing, the velocity of fluid particle get decreased. So due to the pressure difference will create and produce lift, because low pressure area, low pressure region created above the wing and the high pressure region created below the wing. So the lift will produce. When the lift of the aircraft, both side of the wing will be produced lift. When the lift of the aircraft is greater than the weight of the aircraft or the gravity acting the aircraft, what will happen? The aircraft will take off. As you can see that aircraft is taking off, right? So once the aircraft reaches the certain altitude or the given altitude condition, they will put the flaps back into the original position. So when we are moving in fluid particles, you will face some air resistance, right? That what we call this it as a drag. Drag is the air resistance happening in the vehicle or any body. So in order to overcome your drag, you need to have a thrust. And in order to overcome the weight of your body, you have to flow over. This lift will be help you to take off your vehicles or landing. So now we will talk about the control surfaces, how it helps to make a direction changes on the how the aircraft will climb and descend. So there will be a control surfaces here. These two are the ailerons, and these two are the elevators, and this one is the rudder. These three are the very important in aircraft controls. These are the primary aircraft controls. Now we will talk about the climbing down position, means going down, how it will be designed. Let's see how it will be. So for if you want to go down, means descent, they will deploy down the elevator. So what will happen, same like wing, the area get increased and a lift will be produced in the tail of the aircraft. You can see the lift components. What will make the CG of the aircraft is acted here, right? So there is a force acting at a certain distance. So because of this, moment will create, means force into perpendicular distance, like that concept. So the moment will be created in an anti-clockwise direction, will make the aircraft you to go down. So if you want to climb up, going up, same way they will deploy the elevator in a upward direction. So if you deploy the elevator in the upward direction, the lift will be produced in the downward directions. Same way, because of the CG, center of gravity of the vehicle is acted over here, the force will be acted at a certain distance, will makes the aircraft in a clockwise direction. So aircraft will go up. Now you want to make a direction change. How it can be done? In order to make your direction change, there will be two ways possible. First one is the rudder, means deflecting the rudder in the deflecting the rudder. So if you are deflecting the rudder, the lift will be produced in the direction. So the force is acting at a certain distance about this way. So and the moment will be created like this. So what will happen? You can see the direction change of the aircraft. So, but here the problem is, if you make a sudden change in your aircraft, the passenger inside the aircraft will feel discomfort. So what pilot will actually do means, they won't deploy the rudder. They will simply deploy the ailerons in a different position. You can see the ailerons, one going up and one going down. The one going down will produce higher lift, and one going up will produce low lift. It's aerodynamic design. It's obviously produce lift. So because of this deflection, what will happen? The aircraft will make some angle. That what we called as a banking the aircraft, means it's a angled position. So because of that, so the direction will be changed. Once if the aircraft reaches the certain direction, they will put back the ailerons in the original position. This is all about the aerodynamics and the flight mechanics involved in the aircraft. Before going into explain about the scope of aerodynamics in other industries, I want you to ask some questions to know about how the session will be. There will be 5 questions. Which forces is responsible for the aircraft to rise in air? And the second one is the what are the principles behind the aircraft flight? And third one is the which control devices need to make an aircraft nose down? Fourth one is how to change the direction of aircraft and where the flaps are located. You people think and answer the question. I will give you people 2 minutes. I will post the answer now. You can check yourself whether you get the answers correctly or not. The force responsible for the aircraft to rise is lift, and the concept behind the lift and the drag is the continuity and Bernoulli. If you want the aircraft goes up and down, you need to use elevator. If you want to make a direction change of the aircraft, you have to deploy aileron or rudder. So the flaps are located in the wing section. As I told, flaps will be very useful to produce extra lift. Now I will talk about the scope of aerodynamics in other industries, apart from aviation industries or aircraft industry. You can see that this is the first model produced by the Ford company, 1908 Model T Ford car. Okay, and this is the first Indian passenger train, Mumbai to Thane. It's running between Mumbai to Thane in the year of 1853. And this, as I said previously, I explained, this is the first aircraft Wright brothers did. So this is the earliest industry. So now you are the advanced technology corresponding to this industry. This is the Bugatti vehicle 2019 model. The speed of the vehicle is 500 km per hour, and the 2004 Shanghai train is aerodynamic design, and the speed of the vehicle is about 500 km, same 500 km per hour. The one you are seeing the below is the Boeing aircraft. The traveling speed of the Boeing aircraft is, you can imagine, 900 km per hour. Means in 1 hour you can travel Chennai to Bangalore, Chennai to Hyderabad. These are all possible because of this. So how it was achieved? How they designed these high-speed vehicles? So in the early 20th century, people are not worried about the aerodynamic designs of any vehicles. You can see that vehicles design is simply a rectangular box arrangement. There will be one box of rectangular and another box here. You can see the trains also simply a rectangular box arrangement. They were never worried about the design of any vehicles. They are mostly worried about the power, because in that era they want to develop a powerful engine. They are not worried about the aerodynamic designs. So the running speed of this vehicle is around only 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. But what we are now using the vehicles is 500 kilometer per hour, for 300 kilometer per hour vehicles, and high speed vehicles. Now we are in bikes also. We have a speed limit of up to 160 kilometer per hour, right? So how they achieved this? Because of aerodynamic design. As a aerodynamic design is defined as the design of your body which has a least drag coefficient and increase the lift. As you can see in aircraft and also in car, you can see the flow is fully attached, and you can see there will be no sharp edges or rectangular box arrangement like things. Don't like the things. Don't have like the things. It's a fully curved edges. The flow will be fully attached here also in aircraft, and you can see the flow is fully attached here also in the car. So as aerodynamic design, the drag will be very less and it will boost the lift. So if you want to properly design your vehicles aerodynamically, it will help you to reduce the drag of the vehicle and increase the lift of the vehicle, and it and also more fuel efficiency and reduce the noise level, and you will feel most stability. This aerodynamic designs, one of the reason researchers going in aerodynamics design is in the mid 20th century there will be a fuel crisis happened in the European countries. So that time, because of that rectangular box arrangement, what will happen? There will be a more drag created on when you are going above 70 or 80 kilometers per hour. So drag means air resistance, as I said. So in order to overcome the air resistance or drag produced in a body, they need to consume some more fuels to produce thrust. So because of that, there will be so many aerodynamic design researches happen, and these are all the basic concept how to design a aerodynamic vehicle. The first one is the lift. Aerodynamic forces, as I said, there will be two basic forces. The first one is lift and the second one is the drag. Lift is a force that acts perpendicular to the direction of motion of vehicle through the surrounding fluid or air. As I said, lift will be in the direction opposite perpendicular to the direction of fluid particles or air medium. There will be two kinds of lift. One is the positive lift and another one is the negative lift. Before I am going to explain you the concept about the lift in the automotive industry, I want to show you some animation video. What will happen when you are moving at a very high speed? If you have modeled your car in a aerodynamic design, means flow is fully attached with the body. This guy is running at a very high speed. What will happen? The car will be thrown away, right? Why? What is the reason? Because if you have designed your vehicle aerodynamically, you have to check all the conditions. If the design is correct, but there will be a low pressure region created above and high pressure region created below, what will happen? Because of the high pressure region created below will produce a upthrust positive lift. I'm talking about the high speed vehicles, more than 150 km/h vehicles. So the vehicle will flow away. This is the positive lift. So in order to grip your vehicle to the ground, you need to have a negative lift in the direction opposite to the positive lift for a high speed vehicles. So second one is the drag force. Drag force is the air resistance. It is the force against the relative motion of any vehicles in a surrounding fluid. The drag force happened in any vehicles is because of two things. One is the friction force and another one is the flow separation. As you can see, these lines are the air flows. When it moves over the vehicle, it will provide some frictions, right? Because of the friction, there will be a drag. And you can see when you are moving in a fluid medium, you will drag some of the fluid particles. Means stacking up of fluid particles in front of your vehicles. If your frontal area of the vehicle is very large, or the vehicle velocity of the vehicle is very high, you can see in the equation of the drag itself, it's a velocity square into coefficient of drag into a. When the area is large, you have a drag. When the velocity of the vehicle is very high, you have a drag. So it is fully about drag. So there will be high drag created over here. What will happen? Because of this high drag created over here, and the flow will be get separated. Because of the flow separated, there will be a less fluid particle created over this region. Because it's not fully attached flow, right? So there will be a less fluid particle. This what is called as a wake region. So because of a large amount of fluid particle, this region is called high pressure region, and these are the low pressure regions. This is how the drag produced in any vehicles. If you take train or truck, anything, if you have the very high frontal area, you have a more drag. If you are going very high speed, you have more drag. So what aerodynamics did is they come across so many aerodynamic solutions for high speed vehicles. What I shown in the 2019 Bugatti model, you can see a under tray and diffuser, side skirt, wing. This is the wing portion, and you can see the flaps here located at here, tire, aerospin, burn. I hope explaining this aerodynamic solution with video is good. So I'm using a Ferrari 458 model here to explain you the concept about the aerodynamic solutions used in the car aerodynamics. If you guys interested about the high speed vehicles, you can see now how they are designed aerodynamically, the high speed vehicles. You can see the shape of the car. It's a fully curved edges and the flow is fully attached with the flow. You can see the mirror also. It's not a protruding and flat surface. It's a curved surfaces. It's well attached with the flow. Even the tire is inside the car panels. This is the best aerodynamic designed Ferrari vehicle compared to the other Ferrari models. Have an efficiency of 1.5. and produce a lift of 0.53 and a very minimum drag about 0.35. So how they achieved this aerodynamic design with all the concept I showed earlier, right? Solutions I will explain here. So the first one is here, it's about the flaps. The flaps will be located at here. So when we are moving around 70 or 80 below 100 kilometer, the air coming to the car, it's used to cool the radiant of the engine. So it is directly going to the radiant of the engine to cool down the engine. There will be two flaps. One will be horizontal flaps and two will be vertical flaps located at here. As you can see, this is the horizontal flap and earlier two are the vertical flaps. So when you are going more than 150 km per hour, means at a high speed, what will happen? These two flaps will open. As you can see, the flaps will open. So the air going into the radiant engine will cut off. Means if your front area is exposure of the front area is very high, means the drag producer is very high, right? So they will cut off the air and make the air to pass in all the sections of the car. See, sideways it is going, and you can see the under the vehicle also it is going. So the sideways air going, right, it will be guided by turning vanes and the splitters here to pass the air around the car. See this turning vanes and the splitters, how it helps to guide the airflows. So what will happen? It will help you to balance the downforce, means negative lift. It will help to produce a negative lift, means the region of low pressure created over will be avoided. So dams and dumps. So the dams and dumps are, these are the portions of the dams and dumps. The dams and dumps, what will happen? It will, the air, the accumulated air at the front of the car, because of the dams, will help you to accelerate under the car. The function of the hump is also same like damp only. It will help you to accelerate the air. Accelerate the air means what will happen? Low pressure region will created below the car, and there will be increasing downforce. And you can see the under tray option. Why? Because you can't see this under tray option in a day-to-day use cars. It won't be. You can see this under tray option in high-speed vehicles and a highly aerodynamic cars only. If you won't provide under tray, what will happen? There will be a power train and assemblies, pipe assemblies like this, right? If a air flow flows under this condition, what will happen? The flow will be disturbed. Once the flow disturbed, high pressure region will create. Again, the high pressure region will be responsible for the lift. So to avoid lift, positive lift, this under tray option will be provided. Now we have here air fins. So the slow moving air, guided air coming from the front, because of the use of air fins, it will increase the velocity of the fluid particles coming from the front end of the car. It will increase the downforce, same negative lift. So again the spoiler. As I said, even if you design properly also, there will be a wake region created over here. So because of the wake region, what will happen? Positive lift will be provided in the direction. So there will be another chance to meet accident. So in high speed vehicles, what will they provide a spoiler. The spoiler, what will happen? Spoil the lift. Spoil the lift means they will make the flow travels in all the direction of the vehicles behind the cars. So after that, there will be a diffuser section present in the car. You can see the diffuser section present. The function of the diffuser section is same like I explained in the Bernoulli's principle, right? Convergent divergent section. It will help you the airflow to increase the velocity of the fluid, increase the velocity of the air, and to helps you to increase the downforce, means negative lift. See how it helps to increase the downforce. CL. It will help you 6.5% points. See, it will accelerate the flow, right, in the direction upwards. If you want to minimize your drag, you can simply deploy the diffuser flaps in the diffuser. It will help you to reduce the drag minus 0.3 points. This is how the aerodynamic solution works in the high-speed vehicles of car technology. This size script is used because the flow under the vehicle and the flow above the vehicle, they don't want to get into contact. So in order to separate these two flows, they provide the size script. This is the size script. So the flow won't get into contact. This wing is same like spoiler. This will produce a negative lift. Spoiler means disturb the flows and flow separation. Because of the flow separation, there will be a downforce. So without flow separation, you can make the downforce, that with the help of wings in the this is about the train aerodynamics. As you can see, most of your Indian trains will be at the speed of around 60 to 70 kilometers, right? But you can see the bullet train in Japan, the speed of the bullet train is about 300 kilometers per hour. So they designed this bullet train. I will help you with a small simulation. This is the aerodynamic simulation of high-speed train. What you can see, the flow is fully attached, right? There will be no flow disturbance. But you can see, because of the assembly sections here, the flow get disturbed. Even though it is aerodynamically designed well, the flow is fully attached with the body. This exposure to the air will make the flow disturbed, and what will create is a flow separation. And here you can see the flow separation. You can ask why our Indian trains is not going more than 100 kilometers per hour. If it is going more than 100 kilometers per hour or 150 kilometers per hour, what will happen? Due to the flow separation, the train will derail, means going out of the track. So designing aerodynamic is very important in high-speed vehicles. So what we'll seeing in the Shinkansen train, you can see they closed that assembly sections. You can see here, and there will be no protruding sections like powering the engine. Even though if they have the section, they have produced a spoiler, not spoiler, wing, will make the flow well attached. So there will be a flow separation happened in the train. This is how the high-speed vehicles produced in China or Japan. In China, you have a Shanghai train running around 500 km per hour. In Japan, it is a Shinkansen train running around 300 km per hour. If I have time, I will explain the concept of behind the man truck. Before going to explain this man truck, I want to explain, give you a little exposure about aeroacoustics. Aeroacoustics is a very good field. If you are studying about the noise generation in any of the vehicle, it may be aircraft, or it may be a train, or it may be a car. So what we'll do in the aeroacoustic means, they will study about what are the source to produce noise. What is the responsible for the source to produce noise? So you can see in the aircraft this highlighted portions, and in car also you can see the highlighted portions. This is the portion where turbulence created, means flow separation, means flow will be disturbed. So what will happen? Because of the flow disturb, you will have some noise. So the aerodynamicists want to reduce the noise. They don't want noise generation in our vehicles, right? So the aeroacoustic is the one they studied about fully about this, how the fluid is behaved in car or train or aircraft. So studied properly, and they make a design to reduce the noise produced in any of the vehicles. If you design your vehicles properly, this flow separation won't happen. If the flow separation won't happen in any of the vehicle, it will help to reduce the noise produced in a vehicle. That is the concept about aero acoustic. It is one of the emerging field in aerodynamics, and it is also very important when you are considering about the high speed vehicles. So as aeronautical engineer, I said 4 streams. One is aerodynamics and another one is tax. As aerodynamics, you will come up with some design. As aerodynamics, that guy is come up with a very strong and very lightweight material. As a propulsion, he come up with, I want to aircraft provide more than 4 or 5 engines to in a single shot. I will go from India to London, like that. So flight control system, this comes under avionics section. They have a autopilot's control system. They have advanced technology employed. But in the manufacturing system, that guy don't want a complicated structure. I want a simple structure. That only makes me makes aircraft to manufacture very easily. So all the section contribution makes the aircraft. So they have to complement each other and produce a. This is about aircraft A380 model. This is how the aircraft technology is employed. So the question about the second session will be, if the car A frontal area is more than car B, which car has more drag? So, and the second question is what is the function of the spoiler? And the third question is, why wing is used in back end of the car? What is the use of diffuser in car? What is the purpose of studying aeroacoustics? You guys answer yourself. I will post the answer. It will take some time. I will post the answer now. You can check yourself whether you gain some knowledge in this today's session or not. I hope this session will be very useful for you. So I think there will be some time. I hope I will explain the man-track technology. So you can see this is the man-track design. Our Indian lorries, there will be a sharp edges like rectangular box. As I said, rectangular box. That is the most responsible for the drag produced in a vehicle. You can see this is the fully curved edges. See, it's not fully aerodynamic design. Even fully aerodynamic design means there will be no sharp edges. But here you can see some of the sharp edges. But some of the front design, they have aerodynamic designs. With that, they reduced some amount of drag, not fully, some amount of drag, like maybe 4%. You can see the design of the man track. So if you don't want any air resistance, means drag, if you design a body like this, you can see the flow is fully attached here, right? If you design a body like this, it won't produce much drag. It won't produce much drag. There will be drag, not much drag. But you can see in the track, you can see there will be a flow separation. These regions are the flow separation region. And here also you can see, because of the exposure of the frontal area. See how the flow behaves in the truck. So what will happen? Flow separation, because low pressure region created here and high pressure region created over here. So there will be more drag produced when you are going more than 80 km/h in the truck. Going 80 km/h in the truck have more air resistance. So you have to overcome the air resistance. You need to consume more fuels to overcome this drag to produce power, to give power to your engine. See, this is the chart. What will happen when you are moving air resistance to the speed of the vehicles. When you are going, as I said, when you are moving in a very high speed, the drag will be very more. So what they will do is they used some of the aerodynamic solutions here also. The first one is the uh, spoiler. This one is the spoiler. What they will say attached to the top of the truck. This is the tractor portion and this is the trailer portion in the truck. So this tractor portion, they want to make the flow attached. Here you can see the flow gets separated. So what they did is simply employ the spoiler, makes the flow well attached with the truck. This is the one aerodynamic solutions they provide in the truck, like this concept. This is the advanced technology, the future advanced technology of the man truck. So it's a single unit, like both the truck and trailer designed in a single unit. You can see the flow is fully attached, even if you have some very low wake region only. So this is a fully aerodynamic design. This is the ordinary design, but they reduced somewhat the drag. What you can see that shape of the front area. So you can see the fully curved shape and the flow is will attach with the body, but you can see the flow is somewhat disturbed, and you can see the flat mirror also is a flat because of the protruding components like mirror or anything outside the vehicle also help you to increase the drag. Means it disturb the flow and help you to increase the drag. If you want to design your vehicle properly, you can see the mirror how they design here. This is aerodynamic design and this is not aerodynamic design. You can see the flow is fully attached. So in this technology they employed this spoiler to somewhat reduce the drag, and they have some what like a flap section used in that car, right? They have some dam section to guide the flows inside the truck. So this all helps to reduce the drag up to 4%. This is the man truck technology used in.
Jayaprakash sir, sorry for interrupting.
We have a question and answer.
Hello, Jayaprakash sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now we have to stop because we
Yes,
have
yes.
the next session in 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
If you have any
yeah,
questions, you can ask me.
okay. Thank you, Jayaprakash sir, for your valuable lectures. It's really helpful for those are newly freshers. And thank you, participant. This is the basic of aeronautical engineering, and aerodynamics is a part of aeronautical engineering because of see everywhere when you stand in status or everywhere you can feel some cooling and you can feel some pressures. That's one type of aerodynamic course. So we have tomorrow next sessions, that is aircraft component and job opportunity. We'll discuss about job opportunity, how we'll get job in the aeronautical field. So what are the qualification required, what are the eligibility criteria to get job. So we'll discuss tomorrow. So everyone please present and we'll see tomorrow.